Hello, everybody. Happy New Year 2024. I'm going to give actually a practical tool you can use in this new year, but there's something I do want to clarify. And I am not a big proponent of treating this new year as this big novelty thing where you have these expectations that my 2024 is going to look like this and 2023 wasn't very good, so this is what I want from 2024. If you want to take this moment as simply like a nice opportunity to reflect on, what were you grateful for? What do you want more of in your life? What do you want to let go of? What are some new habits you want to create? That's fine. But if we go into a new year with sort of this expectation of like, I'll do this, this is what my year's going to look like. I'm leaving 2023 in the past, and, yes, you should leave it in the past, but sort of this idea of if something was bad, now it has to be good. If something was great, it continues to be great. It's really learning to be flexible with the roller coaster of life, the ebbs and flows of life, finding your resiliency regardless of what's happening in life. And, you can commit in this new year to general principles of how you want to show up in your life. But it's no different than sort of all these New Year's resolutions where it's like this long list of things and I'm going to do all these things. And guess what happens? We know that statistically, right? I think it's within the first month, half of that just drops off. And it's sort of this same concept if it's going into the new year, like, this is my year, this is it. It's creating these expectations that put all of your well-being on them, right? And so it's really an opportunity to look at what is useful in my life? What are the skills that are helpful? What are skills I might want to employ more of? What are some things I might want to spend more time doing? How do I want to show up for the ebbs and flows of life? And that allows me to embrace the greatness that happens, and it allows me to stay open during the difficulties. That said, I'm going to give you a gratitude exercise, and I skip over this sometimes because I know it's talked about so much and it is a little bit basic, but I forget that it's actually a really helpful exercise sometimes. So gratitude's talked about all the time, and I don't mean it just in a more woo-woo way. It actually, does create a new pathway in your brain. It does rewire the brain for what we call more positive neuroplasticity. When you do this consistently, it's teaching your brain to start to look for things that are the positive things that it appreciates. And it becomes a natural sort of viewpoint when you're training your brain because of this assignment to look for things throughout the day. So what I usually do is I say a minimum of 3. If that's too much, then make it 1. 3 things at the end of the day, every night. And it can just be, you can jot a note in your phone, you can jot a note on a Post-it note, you can, write it in a journal if you're a journaler, if that's a word. And it does not need to be a big item. It can be as small as I saw a bird I really liked. I watched my favorite TV show. I took a shower. Maybe it's simply like I was able to breathe oxygen today. It can be huge too. Sure, it can be an accomplishment, but it does not need to be anything monumental. And what that does is because you have this assignment at the end of the day, it's forcing you throughout your day to start to look for things that you're going to put down on this list at the end of the day. And I had a client very, very early on in my career who definitely struggled at times with depression. And it was really, really altering for her to have to do this assignment because she started to notice her brain was naturally looking for positive things in the day, right? And so it becomes sort of this natural viewpoint, and it stops being sort of this forced gratitude, and it's this way to have genuine appreciation. And so that even when life is a dumpster fire, and it's maybe a shit show, that's going to happen. You naturally have this skill of still being able to hone in on something that you're appreciative of, even if you're not going to go over the moon about it, right? So I'm going to throw that out there, for this new year. If you want to try a new assignment, 3 things every day. Again, that will also become a habit. It's, a habit to create a new habit. And it will become natural. And you may get to a point that you don't have to write it down every day because you naturally are doing it in your head. But to start to create this new pathway, we do want to write it down and have sort of this assignment and, frequency and repetition. So let me know if you've ever done a gratitude journal, and I'll see everybody in the new year.